Welcome everyone to our presentation of our research of the evolution of control systems here in Mexicali. We are Ivan Barranco Alvarez,
My pleasure.
Avila Gran Velarde,
Hello.
and myself, Walter Cesar Ponce Chavarria. Well, let us begin. Hello. Chapter 1 is where we define our research paper. This is where we fundament our objectives and we justify all the criteria we need to really provide information for our research interrogation.
Well, let's begin with Chapter 1, the definition. Our research approach was how have control systems evolved in Mexicali's PIMSA district in Baja California, the industrial park of Mexicali. In the objectives, we define our main objective as to make a compilation of the control systems evolution in Mexicali's PIMSA district through control systems availability, and our secondary objectives are to gather information about control systems types available in the region, generating aperture to future areas of improvement and opportunity, and the second one, to inform the new generation of students and professionals about the control systems available in the region nowadays, in order for them to adapt better and have a broader vision of the control systems they will face in each specific company. Now let's review the justification. We define that the research is relevant. The investigation has direct regional impact and global indirect impact. Also, that it will give insight to the new generation of students and professionals. That it acknowledges the control systems that are utilized today and the information that may serve as a useful tool for international entrepreneurs and businessmen to invest in the region. And also that the research has feasibility. And of course, the quantitative and qualitative tools for information gathering is radical.
In Chapter 2, we gather all the information needed for our research, which includes the state of the art, the theoretical framework, and the referential framework, which at the time includes the conceptual framework.
Chapter 2, Documentation. We'll start reviewing some of the concepts that we use in the conceptual framework. Control system. The control system is a group of elements that act together in order to bring an input into a desired value with all the process that involves inside of it. The feedback is the way we use an output in order to transform what actually is the input of that system. The controller is a small machine or computer that allows us to control our variables. We have also the input, which is the value that we are going to control, the output, that is the value that exits, the electric current, that is the flow of the electrons, the resistors, that is an element that restricts the flow of this electric current, a sensor, that is a device that allows us to transform one type of energy onto another, the actuator, that most of the times is a mechanical machine that allows us to produce a mechanical movement, and finally a transducer, which is a type of sensor. Control systems in the field. In this topic we have the automobile, the aerospace, the electronics, and the bioengineering. And in all of this we have several topics or forms in which they reflect in our research.
Chapter 3 is methodology. It presents the hypothesis, the instruments, and analysis of data to support our research interrogation.
Chapter 3, Methodology. Hypothesis. Well, based on our research interrogation, the following hypotheses have been developed. For the first hypothesis, we got that the control systems in Mexicali's PIMSA's industrial district have not evolved due to the lack of innovation in production. Another hypothesis is that the control systems in Mexicali's PIMSA's industrial district have not evolved due to sedentary manufacturing. For our third hypothesis, we established that the evolution of control systems have been affected by undiminished product quality. As the fourth one, control systems have not been updated because of the system non-failure. And for an alternative hypothesis, students are not fully prepared to utilize field control systems and do need training. On our research, the variables and indicators are the lack of innovation in productions. These are the implementation of optimization methodologies, lack of product documentation, organizational methods deficit, new technology acquisitions, area designation methods, product certifications, and product area transportation. In the topic of sedentary manufacturing, the indicators are just the time the process live for a span, in this case of 3 years, the others production techniques, they use the same technology, and they have corrective action quality control application. The next variable is product quality, and its indicators is quality certification, quality measurement, corrective and preventive maintenance, management control system, and turnaround analysis. For our last variable, the system failures, which indicators are equipment in maintenance, non-functional equipment, and fixture. Methodology. In our research, we are combining the qualitative and the quantitative methods, which give us a blended method. For the instruments we are using, there is the interview, the focus group, and the survey.
The quantitative analysis. Here's where we gather all of the elements which can be conceptualized in graphs or bars. For example, in this question applying a survey, where have you currently seen control systems? We can know that people are in knowledge and that they really know what a control system is and where it is applied, as it can be seen in the graph. Most of them see them in electronic manufacturing and also in academic laboratories. Secondly, we have a question that interrogates that on your hierarchy opinion to define the relevance of the following concepts in production. As it can be seen, the surveyees know what the terms in this survey are, and well, they know that the control systems are applied in different areas, so they really know how to implement these types of control systems. Thirdly, as a final question, when the surveyees were asked if they thought the control system had evolved through the years, most of them answered yes. And this is because of technology advancement, most of all, and because of several other opportunities that are in the field, and because we normally are updating ourselves to new devices and new elements with regards to technology. In the qualitative analysis, we implemented two instrumentations. First of all, an interview with the following questions. In general, we attacked several of the variables and the indicators that were presented before. And at the end, we came up with pretty good results about how control systems are seen in the field. Secondly, we also applied a focus group to a group of individuals, especially engineering students, to really understand how they saw control systems in the field and if they saw applications. These are the questions and interrogatives that were applied. The conclusions. At the end, we gathered several conclusions regarding the hypotheses that were presented. We had 4 main hypotheses and an alternative hypothesis. The first of all, control systems in Mexicali's PIMS's industrial districts have not evolved due to a lack of innovation in production is actually incorrect. This is because the lack of innovation in production has nothing to do with the control system's evolution. There are several other parameters that affect the innovation in production and that affect the control system's evolution. Secondly, we have the variable of sedentary manufacturing. And the hypothesis says that control systems have not evolved due to sedentary manufacturing. This is actually proved correct, because if a system or if a company has sedentary manufacturing, it means it has not been updated. So it usually means that it doesn't have newer or more modern control systems. Thirdly, we have that the evolution of control system has been affected by undiminished product quality. This is also correct. In fact, we have found that product quality and the evolution of control systems are directly related and are directly proportional. So a higher product quality usually means that it has a modern and a more updated control system. In fourth position, we have the control system had not been updated because of system non-failure. This is partially correct. Why? Because control systems are usually updated when a system fails, but it's not the only cause. There has to be a financial and an investment plan in order to apply new and more updated control systems to a company or to the field. And finally, students are not fully prepared to utilize field control systems and need training. This hypothesis is proven correct. Why? Because in our focus group and in our interviews, we have found that it is true that students are not fully prepared. They knew basic control system methodology and terms, but at the end, they are not fully prepared because the control systems in the field are very, very specific. And here are the references for investigation. As it can be seen, we use several sources, especially those that have to do with control system books, control system documents, the catalog of enterprise in Mexicali and in the field, and several other applications.
Well, that was our research topic. Thank you a lot for your attention and hope you like it.
Hope to see you again.
See you.
Bye.